Yes. Am I filming? Are we filming? Yeah, we are filming. Guys, once again, welcome to my YouTube channel. I want to greet each and everyone who is watching me right now. And today, guys, I go by the name Malex Min on YouTube. Go and check me out. And subscribe, like, and comment to my YouTube channel. Today, we are going to talk about my dream. I have a dream. I know many people talk about it's bad, say that it's not good to like expose your dream. Is like tell everyone your dream or talk about what is your plan. But whatever I'm going to talk today, I think is one desire to achieve it in in life. If you ask each and everyone, maybe that will be the first dream that he or she, if I'm not wrong, is want to achieve in life. So my dream is just travel all over the world, and that's what we are going to talk about today. And today I'm gonna be doing it in a different way, because before I started it as a vlog, I would be doing it like in two ways. When I'm alone, I'll be doing it as a podcast. Today we are going to be doing it as a podcast. Maybe when I'm going somehow, I'm gonna be filming some videos, guys. I'm gonna be posting my YouTube. Make sure you check out my YouTube channel. As I said once again, Malex Made. Subscribe and comment my YouTube and support your man here, man. Yeah, welcome to my podcast in my small studio. And today, guys, I'm all alone, and you, the viewers, will be watching me for today. But I'll be joined by this small teddy bear right here. He's keeping company with me, and small ducky over here. Yeah. And today, guys, I'm gonna be talking about the countries of the world. Before I talk about the countries of the world, I want to talk about the continents of the world, which make us the whole world to be called the world. You know, there's continents, like 7 continents of the world. There's like North America, there's South America, there's Antarctica. Antarctica, those who don't know, is a continent size of 13 million kilometers square, but is uninhabitable. Only in that continent, only the ice and the winds, very strong winds, which are very cold, and you can't survive there. People visit, and that that continent is not owned by any nation, but there's some nation who still claim it that they own it. Yeah, the nation like Australia, France, British. Yeah, but for today, the United Nations say that continent belongs to no one, but belongs to each and every country which want to conduct any scientific program in that continent. Called Antarctica is one of the continent. We are at that continent, and there's another continent known as Asia. Asia is the biggest continent in the world. As you know, it comprises of big countries like Russia, China, Mongolia, very big, huge country, Kazakhstan. And also there's a continent. It's a country, but it's regarded as a continent called Australia. Australia is a big country, but it have few population, but it's regarded as a continent by in the whole world. Yeah, another continent that I'm going to talk that I will name it is Europe. Europe is also a continent, comprises of many countries, and maybe 30-something countries. Yeah, so those are 7. Oh, I forgot about our mother Africa. That's the biggest continent. I think the second biggest continent in the world, mother Africa, because like Africa, this is where I come from, and my country is one of the countries. My country is found in that continent by the name of Africa. Yeah. So, guys, today I'm gonna be talking about the countries of the world. Specifically, I'll be talking about the continent of Africa, the challenges, the countries, how many countries are there, and each and every countries. I've never yet visited any African countries. I've been only in Kenya, my own country. The only country that I've visited is the Asian country that I'm living now, which is Qatar and Dubai. I visited back in 2019. But in Africa, I think I've never been to Africa, but it's my dream that one day I'll be able to travel Africa as a whole. And I want it to be, I want to do it in a different way, because I don't want to use the planes. I don't want to use, like, I know it's fun, like taking a flight from one country to another country, because I've been to several flights, and it's very nice because you try enjoy the flight if you are used to. If you're not used to, then it gotta be a lot of freight. You get freighted. But because I've been used to flying, and I get used to, and I like flying. Let me say, just I like flying. So in Africa, I want to do it in a different way. Like I have this dream that one day I'll be able to buy a big motor. You know, this African place. Let me give like an example. Africa Twin is one of the long distance bikes. They are like big, 3 boxes. One on side, another side at the back side, and now one other at the top. Yeah. So those are best bikes, and they travel for a long distance. I think one day when I get such kind of a bike, or a motorbike, which is, I know it's a kind of expensive now. It goes around for 1 point something million in Kenya, but nothing is impossible. I can own it. Who knows tomorrow? Who knows tomorrow what will bring? And I hope tomorrow my future will be bright. Yeah. So my dream is just travel over the world. Specifically, I like to travel our mother Africa, and I think Africa have a lot to offer. Africa is named as the most richest continent in the world, despite of the countries going through a lot. There are a lot of, let me put in, poor countries in Africa. Yeah, when you put, like, Burundi is one of the countries that is named the poorest in the, I think, in the world, not only in Africa. Yeah, and some countries are named corrupt. Some countries which have going through civil wars, and Africa is, I think, is full of, let me say, like chaos, something like that, because some outside powers, which I don't want to name them, or I hear some, I know 100% from outside power, which try to control different groups so that they can destabilize the country, because, you know, our countries in Africa are very rich in minerals. They are very rich in, our culture is very rich, and we are rich in, like, the weather and everything is rich. Yeah, we are just blessed continent in Africa. So my dream is to travel over the world using a motorbike from one country. Maybe I'll start from Uganda, my own country, then I go to Uganda, then I go to Tanzania, then I go to Burundi, then I go to Rwanda, then I go down Malawi, like that, Zambia, Zimbabwe, South Africa. Let me see if I can be able to name all the 54 countries of Africa. Let me start with, let me start from my own country, or let me start from the Indian Ocean side. I'll start with Somali, then I go to Kenya, then I go to Uganda, then I go to Ethiopia, then I go to Burundi, then I go to Rwanda, then I go to Tanzania, then I go to South Sudan, then I go to Sudan, then I go to Djibouti, then I go to Eritrea, then I go to Egypt, then I go to which is country, Tunisia, then I go to Niger, Algeria, then I go to, I said Libya, yeah, Libya, Morocco, baby, it's a very, very good, nice country. There's Chad, there's Togo, there's Senegal, there's Ghana, there's Mauritania. Mauritania is one of the, but is on the, is Mauritania, who don't know, is in a country, a small island country that is found in Indian Ocean. Mauritania, there's Madagascar. We go down, we go to South Africa, we go to Zambia, Zimbabwe, Then we go to Malawi, then we go to Namibia, then we go to Congo, then we go to, I say Agora, then we go to, there's one country that was colonized, had a black slavery that were taken by Americans. What is the name of the country? I'm kind of forgetting about that country. Seychelles is not that country, but it just came on my mind. So, what's the name of that country? I'm kind of forgetting that. That country have like American culture, because all the slaves that were building America at the time, they were brought back to that country because they were taken from that nation when they were slaves. And actually they have the same kind of flag as American flag. Let me check really quick which country is that. Sorry guys, I have to check, because how many countries have I named so far? Maybe I've named like 38. There's some others which I've not named. Cote d'Ivoire, there's Cote d'Ivoire, that is 48, that 9. There's Burkina Faso, there's I mean, that's 40 countries, that 14 to go. 14 to go. If you know other countries that have left behind, just comment my video. But I have to check that country that was colonized by America. Let me 1 minute. 1 minute. Let me check. Sorry guys. I think Liberia. I didn't check Liberia. I got it. It came in my mind, Liberia. So those are like 41 countries that I've named. Which country that I've left? I named Djibouti. I named Malawi, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Togo. Yeah, I named all of them. I think there's 14 countries that I've left behind. Sudan, I've named Sudan. Yeah, leave the others, guys. If you think that I've left your country behind, you can comment on my on the comment section. Let me know which country that I've not named yet. Yeah, so that's some of the nation, or the nation of Africa. And Africa, as I said before, Africa is a blessed continent. Like I had one guy say that if Africa was to just live like that, no one is helping us, we can survive. We can be able to survive without outside powers. If talking when you talk about the food, the minerals, but if you were to use our knowledge and use whatever we are being blessed in Africa, like Africa is blessed with gold. Name them. Like we produce coffee, produce each and every kind of agriculture products, plants, and all that. So Africa is one of the main nation which in a continent that is blessed with each and everything. That's why you see superpowers that bring in rivalry groups, like let's say like Sudan. I know they have been fighting for how many years? Like 3 years now. Sudan is like before it was the whole Sudan. It was the biggest country in Africa and then they went a civil war between the one part of the Sudan was majority Muslim, and the southern part of the Sudan was majority Christian. So Christian wanted independence because they felt like their needs were not being fulfilled by the government of Sudan, which was ruled by the time by the Muslim. Yeah, so they went through civil wars on that, and then through United Nations and the superpowers, they meditated, and they said this issue have to be solved by each and everyone owning his own country. And now South Sudan, they are proud to be an independent country, although the economy is not doing that great, but because it's a new country, it was formed in 2011, and they are doing great. And then let's go to Sudan now. Northern Sudan, or Sudan. Let's leave Sudan. Also Sudan, there's a little bit fight on the border. They are clashing with near the Ethiopian border. But the main civil war that is happening now is in Sudan. When you talk about Sudan, is a very rich country with oil and gas, and that country is very rich. If the people could realize whatever the country have to offer to them, they could stop fighting and use the minerals that they have, and the energy that their country give them, and whatever the country holds, to be, develop themselves and make themselves very rich. So there's two groups that are fighting in Sudan, and I don't like politics, because politics, they end up in wars. If there is a lot of rivalry, although this war is being supported from outside, there are countries that want to gain something from Sudan, so they support different kind of groups or rival groups. You know, Sudan is ruled by two. Before, it was ruled by two military groups. One is called RSF, and another one was called the Sudanese, that like the main army of Sudan. So RSF was part of the Sudanese Rapid Support Forces, and the army was the military of Sudan. So they are fighting to take control of the country. So RSF want to hold the power of the Sudanese country, and the KDF is a Kenyan military. So like their main military armies want also to hold, the general want to hold the power of the country, because they overthrew the president at the time, because he ended up learning, like for many years, let's say he was kind of a dictator, and then the people overthrew him, and then they remained when there is a power vacuum in a country, the country goes into chaos. I mean, so the groups started to fight over power. RSF is part of a military of Sudan, and the main military is Sudanese army. So from that time, this group have been fighting near the capital city of Sudan, and the city of Sudan now, I think everything is blown up, like airports, presidential palaces, highways, everything, building, apartments, like it's a war zone. And a lot of people have died in Sudan. Actually, a lot of people have died in Sudan, and a lot of people are being massacred in Sudan until today, because the war is still going on. And when you follow whatever they are fighting for, is like outside powers, they want to gain these minerals like gold. You know, the western part is controlled, the western part is controlled by RSF, Rapid Support Forces, and the eastern part, most of the eastern part is controlled by the military, the main military of the country. So then the western part have a lot of minerals, and the western part have a lot of minerals, which is controlled by the Rapid Support Forces, and western part have a lot of oil and gas. And recently, like yesterday, so like 2 days ago, they bombed the main port, and they destroyed a lot of, I think, the oil and gas in the port near the shores of the ocean and the sea, the Red Sea. So a lot is going on in Sudan, and people are suffering, and the country have been to chaos for 3 years, and I hope one day they'll come and realize how their country have to offer, and come to negotiation table. I think they are one people. They have to talk and then agree whatever they have to do their country. They don't have to allow like outside power to come and control their country, because when you allow outside power to control your country, which many countries do in Africa, then you end up, but most of the countries are rising up and they are overthrowing these powers. They are seeing there's no benefit, like they are living us off for years. There's nothing we are gaining. Our country is still poor since we gained independence from this country, and still the country still want to take from us. Like our Burkina Faso actually overthrew the French power in their country, and then they put their leader who is just supporting that country, and I like that. Yeah, he's a great reader, and I support him a lot, and I like such confidence, such readers who take control of their people and say, this enough is enough. We need to take over our country, and let the people who have been taking over our country, taking over our minerals, who are taking over our wealth to the overseas to their countries, so they can reach themselves. Yeah, yeah, I like such readers. So can African countries in large, I love even I love like African countries. They are great and they are beautiful. They got the nature of the, like, let's put our country like Kenya. It's have a lot to do. If you want to visit, you want to see different lakes like Rift Valley, like Lake Baringo, Lake Bogoria, uh, Lake Nakulu, the world parks. Like you can go Amboseli. Amboseli is in Kenya. I know South. I mean this. I think Masai Mara. I mean, but I think Amboseli is in Tanzania. Masai Mara. I mean, you can go and have fun and enjoy seeing the animals, the lions, the giraffes. I remember the last time I visited Kenya was when I was in grade 6. When and actually that trip my mom paid for. Each and every end of term we used to go for a trip, like after 3 months that's one term, another 3 months that's another one term, then another 3 months that's one term. We used to go for trips in our, I used to school in a boarding school, so the parents used to pay for the trip to go and visit. And actually, I visited Rift Valley and it was amazing. I enjoyed myself. Lake Elementaita. What is the name of this? Menengai crater. There's this place where there's a lot of salt. I actually forgot about that place. So, I mean, like African nation, they are blessed. You can visit a lot. Put in mind, like Uganda. Uganda is the one nation that have a lot to do with the nature. It's actually, Uganda is called the Pearl of Africa. Is Pearl or Pearl? I mean, let me call it Pearl, the way I know it. Pearl of Africa, like Pearl of Africa. Yeah, let me put in that way. So because Uganda is home of the home to the source of the biggest river called River Nile, which flows from Uganda, passes through Sudan, goes to Ethiopia, feeds all actually this river feeds all these countries that I'm naming. Sudan, there's South Sudan, there's Ethiopia, then there's Egypt, then it's drains itself to Mediterranean Sea. It's a big river that its source is in Lake Victoria. Lake Victoria is one of the biggest lake in Africa. Yeah, it's being shared by 3 countries. That is Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. I mean, so Uganda also is very good and nice people. The vibe of the people and the culture of Ugandan people, and then the food and everything. Although they have been ruled by the same leader for years and years, and think their country is good. And I said, put politics aside. I don't support any politics, because when you put politics in this, you end up losing your mind, because politics have messed a lot of African nation. When you put, like, my own country, there's a lot of problem now. Now people are voting about the president. They say they don't want the president. The president is stealing the money, the corruption in our country and all that, and they say that there's nothing, the money is not flowing in our own country. So what I want to say is that Africa is a blessed nation. Another country that I want to visit is Burundi. People say that Burundi is one of the poorest countries in the world, but I don't know, maybe one day I'll visit. But according to the video that I see as long as you are happy and your nation is not into war, like I think Burundi are very safe, because when you put in mind that Sudan have been to war for 3 years, I better live in a poor nation, but not live in a nation that have wars. Like, I'm in a country, I'm not saying war is good. I don't support wars, and I'm not happy because countries are having wars, but it's the political issues. And I say that people, the superpower, are fighting for control over the world, control over the minerals, so the war have to occur, and in each and every way, it's not good. Don't end up when it's good. So Burundi is a small nation, in East Africa, one of the Eastern African nations. And I think the people and the video I see people taking is a beautiful nation, just a simple nation. People say it's the poorest nation in the world. I don't know. Maybe I'll visit one day. I'll go and I don't want to judge when I've not yet visited the nation. I don't want Peruvian people to come and fight with me over and say that, why are you saying that our nation is poor and you have never been in our nation? I want to visit your nation and know what kind of your nation is, and I think your nation is one of the greatest nation. I think someone have not to tell you you are poor, you are rich. As long as you don't have wars, you can do your job without any fear, like in other countries, like take like Palestine and Israel, like Ukraine and Russia. Now if you walk in Ukraine, you don't know where the missile will land from, I'm not saying it's good to have wars, but when you're walking to Uganda, as long as you have peace and you're able to walk from one place to another and you do your work, that's great. Yeah. So another nation that I want to visit is I like Burundi. Another nation I want to visit is Rwanda. Rwanda is one of the best nations. It's regarded as one of the cleanest nation, I think, in Africa. And also that one nation like resembles like Western nation like Europe, because when you go to Rwanda, because Burundi and Rwanda they border each other. So Burundi is like not Rwanda is like they follow they have this like culture. Like their country is like European nation, or let me say European. It's one of the cleanest in Africa, and also they follow the rules. And when you go to, they follow the traffic lights. I saw one video, like I wondered, oh, is it Europe or am I? Oh, and I discovered it was Rwanda, because when you see the traffic light, the people have been the traffic light. But when you come to Nairobi, our own country in Nairobi, there was a time when I was in Nairobi and I was just waiting for the red light. So I wondered, this car, they are not stopping, man. Like it's red light and the cars, they are still closing, they are moving. When it's green light, when you want zebra crossing, your turn to close, then the cars, they just pass, man. And there's no rules in traffic when you come in Nairobi, mainly in the downtown or near the downtown. But maybe if you go to Upper Hills or the other side, there's they kind of obey the rules, because that area is for the rich, But in the downtown, it's rush hour. Every time is rush hour. People are rushing to go home. They are rushing to get money. They are rushing to do. But when you come to Rwanda is one of the nations that they obey rules, and I like their nation, and I like their leader Paul Kagame. Actually, Paul Kagame have ruled that country for many years. The people like him. Yeah, he's a great leader, and he loves his nation. Yeah, another nation that I would like to travel, and this nation I have not. Let me say, this nation should be the richest nation in the world in terms of minerals. It's the richest nation in the world in terms of minerals, and should be the richest nation in the world in terms of wealth, because each and everything that any other nation that have in the world, like cobalt, which anything that make the vehicles, the what is the name, the chips for the phones and laptop and everything, that each and everything the country's superpower needs to make their own, to run their own country through technology and everything. This country own everything. They are, I think Congo have a lot of wealth in beneath their land. But what happened is, when these superpowers, they find out that this kind of a nation have a lot of wealth in their country, they come and they support rival groups, another rival group, until I don't know what's happened there. I don't know how these people are able to convince other people. The money, when you have power, the power have everything. Don't play with power. Your power can do anything. Yeah. So this nation, they come and support tribal groups or rival groups or kind of armed groups in the country, and they destabilize the country. I mean, and Uganda have not Uganda, that Congo have gone a lot through the years, because their minerals have been being taken by corrupt leaders who are supporting the superpowers, who have been supporting other superpowers. And I think Congo is one of the best nations to visit, although through the civil war that is going on until this day, I think Congo is one of the best beautiful nation. Also the nature, everything is green. Also they have biggest forests, they have gorillas, they have each and every kind of animals. And I think it's a very nation to go and visit and know what's happening there. I love African nation. Another nation that I want to travel is Zambia. Zambia is one of the African nations that I want to visit. That's because Zambia is home of one of the biggest waterfalls. I think Victoria Falls. Victoria's Fall, I think, is one of the biggest falls in Africa, if I'm not wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I think Victoria Falls is one of the biggest waterfalls in Africa. And I saw one video from one YouTuber that I follow a lot, that is of our own Ayamalo. He has been a lot of my inspiration for many of the years since I started watching him, called by Ayamalo. He visited that nation, like and he went through that the waterfalls. There's a bridge that you have to pass through, and the water just go through the bridge and downside the bridge, and the waterfall just here and the bridge just passes here. So you have to go through the bridge, and the waterfall is very deep there. So what happens when the water fall down, because it's a big river and a lot of is stretched for kilometers when the fall is going to hit the ground, the waterfall, I mean. So when the water hits down, it evaporates into vapor. I don't know how it's happened, vapor, and then come down, then back as a lane. So if you are passing that bridge, if you don't have an umbrella or an raincoat, then you end up being, your body will become all wet with water, because it's like a rainy, you are in a day, the sun is there, but it's feel like you're I saw that video. I was not there, but I feel like I was there. That is amazing, and I want to visit that. And if you are from Zambia, one day I will visit your country. Very soon in future I will visit your country. You got like one natural, let me call it resources. That's a resource, and it's never end. Zambia. And also I think they share the waterfall, kind of. Zimbabwe also shares a lot, small part of the waterfall, because they border each other. So Zambia is one country that I want to visit, and another country that I want to visit is Egypt. I'll just jump like that, the nation that I feel like they have to come first, in Africa. Egypt, I love it because of the ancient pyramids, because Egypt is one of the nations that have a lot of history to do with the human, and how I want to know these huge old pyramids which were built like thousands and thousands of years ago. And how comes people had that knowledge at the time, and how did they put all these big stones together and build these big pyramids? And that is have been disturbing my mind, trying to think what is happening. I've been doing my research here, try to see from different they called archaeologists, or people who just follow the history of the nation, or the history of some things like pyramids, some humans, like it's called mummies. The mummies are like the graves that have been found in Egypt, which they used to bury the kings, the prince, the queens. They take over the coffin. Is like a coffin, and then they open up to see whatever is inside. It's called mummy. So I want to know more about Egypt, and I feel Egypt nation is a desert nation, and I want to know how these people live from the ancient times. This Egypt have a lot to offer, because according to the Bible, is one of the nations that is being talked about the Bible. the Israelites, the Egyptians, the pharaohs, and how they used to bury the people in the pyramids. And also want to steal one stone from one pyramid and come with it back to my home and put it as a treasure in my home. Yeah, I love Egypt, and also I'm in Qatar, and I've met a lot of Egyptian, and they are good-hearted people, and I love them. They are just welcoming. I love them. They are nice people. They are vibe. So another country that I want to visit is, for now, I want to visit this country that Djibouti. Djibouti is one of the small nation in Africa which have nothing. Like when you put in this nation, you don't know what's happening in this nation. Like it's a nation that's like dormant. In Africa, I know even there's some people who in Africa that don't know this country known as Djibouti. Actually, Djibouti and Eritrea, they border each other, but those countries you never hear from them. They're I don't know what's happening. But for me, I've done a lot of research, and this nation is a small nation near the Red Sea, in the Red Sea, and is one nation that have a lot to do with have a lot of benefits to the superpowers, because this nation have each and every superpower have a military base in that country, because this country is at the choke point between the Yemeni and in the Red Sea, where a lot of economical, what do I want to say, a lot of like a route where a lot of economy of the world passes through each and every year. So these countries are trying to control over that checkpoint. It's like a small checkpoint in the sea that crosses over from Djibouti through Yemen, passes like that, and go upside to Egypt, and then go to Mediterranean, and then go to Europe. And nation of the world like superpowers like America, China, France, I think Italy, I think Japan, I think each and every country that is kind of a superpower have a military base in that nation. And what it's for? To try to control the shipping lane on that area, that because the Djibouti is in the Red Sea, and the nation or the superpower, the nation who are military power, they want to control the trade. No one wants to see the trade being blocked by other superpower, so they have built a lot of military bases in that country. And this country named by the name of Djibouti have benefited from those military bases, because it's paid, the politician of the nation or the country as a whole is paid a lot of money to having this bases built in their country. So I want to know how which kind of people live there, because these people don't talk. When you go to internet, you can't feed people from Djibouti. If you're from Djibouti, just comment there. I want to know why is your country so that dormant? You don't talk. Like, is it because there are a lot of you're being protected, or you have superpower in your nation? Yeah, that's another country. Another country that I want to visit is Eritrea, and it's the borders next to Djibouti. Also another nation that is so much quiet. Eritrea, I think, was part of Ethiopia before they got independent from Ethiopia at the time, and they say they want to rule it themselves. Until now, they fight to rule the Ethiopian border and Eritrea border. They have not yet agreed from in certain region. They still fight between Ethiopia and Eritrea. But it's a good nation to visit. Another nation that I want to visit is, I think, Morocco. Morocco, I think I like the Arabs of Morocco. I think their culture, I think they are more welcoming, and the videos I've watched from Morocco, I think Morocco is one of the ancient nations. Like, got the old buildings. I know before, years back, Jewish and Arabs or Arab Muslim in the world, they used to live side by side, but now most of Jewish have resettled in Israel, because when Israel was formed, a lot of Jews, they thought they were discriminated by other Moroccans. Also, there are still some few Jewish in Morocco. I'm not saying that they are not living together, but there are few, most who so that they feel like danger living. They were not comfortable with Muslim living together. They went to Israel, and now they are living in Israel. So I want to visit Morocco. It's also one of the greatest nation. I think I've seen a lot of Moroccans. I've worked with them in Qatar. I had one friend from Morocco, and it was a vibe. I think Morocco is a country also to look for visiting. And another nation that I want to visit is Namibia. Namibia is one of the nations that's the biggest nation. Like, it have a big desert, and also it's one of the nation that is very big and also have a low less population. About 5 million people live in Namibia. So that means you can own acres of land. If imagine Qatar is this small, 11,000 kilometers, and holds almost 5 million or 4 million people, and yet it's able to hold like 4 million people, such small land. What about Namibia? Namibia is a very large, huge nation, and the population is only 5 million, and this country is blessed with, as I said, Africa is blessed with the resources. So this country is blessed with oil and gas. It's have a lot of oil and gas, if I'm not wrong, and I'm not wrong because I know I've done my search, and they ship a lot of gas and oil to China, and I think this nation have to be rich. You have to be rich. If you are Namibia, I know you are rich, and if I'm going to visit your country, you're going to host me for free in future. I mean, so your nation is rich, and I love Namibia is rich, full, is one of the best, and one of the also in tourism. A lot of people to visit that nation. I think it's a good nation to visit and learn more about their culture. Also to see my brothers there, to see how the country is be able to cope with only 5 million. Well, it is large. I know it will be when I'm going to visit there. If I'm going to visit inside, it will be like pile of big of land, and there are no people living. Yeah, that's another nation I want to visit. I think the other nation that I want to visit is let me see, Africa. There are a lot of nations that I have in my hand, but for now I don't think I have to visit them. Maybe I'll visit it. I want to visit the one that I feel I have to visit, because the first countries I feel like I have to visit first. Let me go to the other side of ocean. I want to visit like Madagascar. Madagascar is one of the nations also dormant. I don't know. This nation, I never heard anything about that. The only thing I heard from this nation is when the president was about to be assassinated at the time. That's when I heard about Madagascar, the president. But from that time, nothing. It's all quiet. So I want to know. It's actually the biggest island in Africa, because Madagascar is in the middle of the Indian Ocean. It's not large. It's not Ladakh. It's like an island, but it's the biggest nation. I think it's like 500. It's the same size of with Kenya, or smaller or bigger than Kenya, if I'm not wrong. It's a big country. I think it's regarded as also as one of the poorest countries in the world, and I want to know how the people live. I think it got different kind of people. Like you can like Asian-like people, Africans. It's like a mix. I don't know. Is it called? I don't know. There's type of different groups, like people like Asians with the color of Asian hair. There's Africans. If you see the president of Madagascar, which I know I saw him. I don't know if they have predicted any president, because as I said, Madagascar is the country that you don't know anything about to do. If you have to do a lot of research if you want to know about that country. So the president is like Asian-like, although it's an African country. I'm not saying that it's bad to be ruled by. You can be ruled by Indian as long as it's an African, a citizen of Kenya, or citizen of Madagascar. People migrate. And also, I want to give you an example. Like Obama was born, and the mother was from Ireland, and the father was from Kenya, and he ended up to be the president of the biggest or the superpower of the world, America. So And I'm not saying it's bad to be a president. If you are Asian, you can be a Chinese and come Kenya and become a citizen and run for presidency. If you are born in Kenya, you can go anywhere and give birth to a child if you're from China or from Russia and become a citizen of Africa or other nation of Africa and become a president. So if a nation is a democracy and support the democracy, I think it can happen. Yeah. So I'm saying Madagascar is, you can't see a lot from Madagascar. So I feel Madagascar is another nation that I feel I want to visit. Another nation that I want to visit is Mauritius. Mauritius is one of the tiny island in the Indian Ocean, and this nation actually benefits a lot by the tourism because it have no minerals, nothing. So this country, small country in the Indian Ocean, or any other country that is in the middle of the ocean, they rely a lot in tourism. You see, they invest a lot in tourism sector, like hotels, the good technology, good infrastructure, so that it can accommodate the tourists from all over the world. So I think one of Mauritius is one of the beautiful islands in the Middle East, not Middle East, middle of Indian Ocean. Yeah, and I think is one of the best countries to visit. I want to visit Seychelles, whatever you may call it. It's a small, tiny island in the Indian Ocean also. The country relies also in tourism a lot, and they actually invest a lot in tourism. And yeah, another country that I want to visit is which country that I've left behind? I think another country I want to visit is I think I named all the countries that I feel like I want to visit. Yeah, Ethiopia. Yeah, I want to visit Ethiopia. Ethiopia is our neighbor in the northern part, and I feel like I want to visit this country because I think they got beautiful girls. I also forgot to say Madagascar, although I don't know more about Madagascar, but they have a lot of beautiful girls. I saw in the TikTok they were posting each and every time. This time they were trending, and the people were saying, "Oh, Madagascar is so quiet," but I saw their girls posting on TikTok, and they are so beautiful. So I'm not going there because they are beautifully there. I can go there. I'm still young. Who knows if I can get a Madagascan wife or I can get an Ethiopian wife. Who knows? I think Ethiopia is one of the most countries that in Africa that was not yet colonized by the colonies that colonized the African. I know Kenyans were colonized by British, and Ethiopia was not colonized. It was ruled by emperors at the time, and Ethiopia have a lot to do with a nation of farming. They farm the coffee. They actually like I think last year they opened the biggest dam in the world in the Africa. I think the second, if I'm not wrong, the second or the first biggest dam in the world. Not in the world, in Africa. I mean, sorry about that. And this nation, I want to know how they evolve. I think Ethiopia is one of the richest nation, and you put in mind their airlines is also one of the best. I think is one of the best airlines in Africa, Ethiopia Airlines, because they got each and every kind of planes, like 3 A350s, they got Boeing 787, they got all the kind of planes, and the company of Ethiopia Airlines is big. I think is nears that of Qatar Airways, because this nation, like they are carriers from each and every country, each and every continent of the world, and they travel over the world, and they got each and every kind of planes, a lot of planes. So yeah, I think it's one of the countries that I feel I have to visit. I think it's still on my list. And then their capital city is Addis Ababa. And I want to know, why do this capital city, why do all Jamaicans sing about this capital city, about the emperor who was called, what's the name of the emperor? I've just forgot him. Addis Ababa. but they love Addis Ababa. Most of Jamaicans, I don't know, they came from Ethiopia and they went to Jamaica, but they love Addis Ababa. I know the name of neighbor. When am I forgetting? If you know the emperor, that emperor, just comment in this comment section. I think, let me sip some water. Maybe I'm going to. Yeah. I forgot the name. So I think those are the nations that I feel like visiting in Africa, and when time comes on the near future, I'll have to visit those nations. If I'm not mentioning other nation like Ghana, Senegal, they're still in my mind, but I just mentioned the nation that I feel like I have to visit first, and I don't hit any African nation on any war, any nation in the world. I like each and every nation of the world, and I feel one day, one time, I'll have to visit all these nations, 194 countries, or some people say 196, other people say 200. Whatever the numbers could be, or 400, even 2,000, I'll visit. If Musk want to go to Mars, why not? And I'm here, just here in now. The only is just pay the ticket of the plane and just travel, jump from one country to another. And there's some people who want to go to Mars and build in Mars, and go to Moon and build in Moon. Why not me? So I think it's dream possible, because it's